Hi guys and welcome back in MedicalScribe. In this video we will talk about the skin from an anatomical point of view. The skin is the largest organ in the human body that make about 15 to 20% of the total human body mass. So if we suppose a man with 70 kilograms weight, the skin will make about 10 kilograms from that 70. And also, the skin considered as one of the best indicators of the general health, and considered as one of the differential diagnoses in almost every disease. So if we have a patient and we need to diagnose him, we will put in our mind a set of diseases that are very likely to have, depending on the signs, symptoms, and the physical examination of the patient. This set of diseases called the differential diagnosis. So in most illnesses, the diseases of the skin and its appendages are most likely to be one of these differential diagnoses. So that's why the skin considered as a very important indicator and we must focus on in the physical examination. Alright, the skin mainly consists of two layers, which are the epidermis and the dermis. The epidermis is the superficial cellular layer. That's mean, if we touch our skin right now, we will touch the epidermis layer. While the dermis layer is the deep connective tissue layer that's found under the epidermis. And we will talk about them with all their details in the upcoming videos. Now we have an important thing to know, which is what are the functions of the skin. In fact, there is a lot of functions and there are many ways to organize these functions, but we will explain the skin functions systematically and by maps to understand them better. We can say the skin has 6 main functions, which are the protection, the sensation, the thermal regulation, and considered as container, and endocrine and exocrine functions. So the first thing is the protection. The skin protects the body mainly from 5 things. Firstly, it will protect the body from the environmental effects, like abrasions, so it will not affect the internal organs directly. Secondly, it will protect the body from fluid loss, which is a very serious issue, because if the patient lost a huge amount of fluid without replacing it, the person may dehydrate and die because of it. Thirdly, the skin protects the body from the ultraviolet radiation, and also it will make a physical barrier against the invading microorganisms, so it won't let them to enter the body. And finally, the skin helps in the immune response by a specific mechanism. That's regarding the protection, which is the first main function of the skin. Secondly, the skin has a function in the sensation, and we have mainly 3 types of sensations by the skin. The touch sensation that's done by the mechanoreceptors, and the pain sensation that's performed by the nociceptors, and also the temperature sensation that's done by the thermoreceptors. That's regarding the sensation function. Thirdly, the skin helps in the thermal regulation process of the body, which is achieved mainly by 2 ways. The first one is by activating the sweat glands, so by sweating and evaporation of the sweat, and the second one is by dilation and constriction of the superficial blood vessels. So that's regarding the thermal regulation function of the skin. While the fourth function of the skin is that the skin considered as a container to the internal organs, and to the body tissues, and to the substances, and everything under the skin will be contained by it. The fifth function we said is the endocrine function of the skin, which represented by the secretion of specific hormones, cytokines, and also it will enter in the synthesis and storage of vitamin D. Finally, which is the function number 6 of the skin, is that the skin has also an exocrine function, that's represented by the sweat secretion from the sweat glands and the oily sebum secretion from the sebaceous glands. Of course, all these functions have a lot of details and mechanisms that we will explain them in videos later. So that was almost everything about the skin and the skin functions. And that's it. I hope what I said makes sense. See you next video and goodbye.